Wanderer, The Ultimate Hippie Trail Journey is a great read and a hell of a lot of fun. Check it out. Follow the journey and our route on our website at wandererbook.com. Welcome to week 34. Basically, it's all about the Vale of Kashmir, the Shangri-La beauty of the town known as Srinagar, tucked into the Himalayas in a huge valley bowl. It is filled with Islamic people, Muslims, even though it's a part of India. And it, to this day, is a source of controversy because of it. However, when we were there, it was peaceful, wonderful, and the people were at one with me and my mates, Dick and Roger. Come along and let's deal with the particulars. As you can see, Srinagar is the center of the activity in the Vale or Valley of Kashmir. The whole week will be spent adventuring about in Srinagar. And as you can also see, there is a city, and there are lakes, and there are rivers, and as you will see from the photos and more, it is a land of water, green, and mountain. Finally, we roll into the city of Srinagar to a spectacular lightning storm that gets us a bit wet up on the open trucks. We get to a houseboat, and somehow I am sitting on our own private houseboat, living a fat life that is a conflict because it's too luxurious and expensive for a guy that's got $10 in his pocket. And it comes with 3 meals prepared for us per day by a corps of servants that come with the houseboat rental. Srinagar is still a magic city, made up of lakes, rivers, and canals. The life goes on vitally in and around the water. I've seen movies of this place on TV travel shows when I was a kid, but I never knew the name of it. What a trip. Floating shops, endless water, with everyone traveling on slim boats, silently rowed through the water. The feel of the place is simply paradise. Flowers, gardens, flooding, and floating life. After our first night on one of these fancy houseboats like you see behind me, we downgraded significantly. The same people had a funky boat. It didn't have servants, and they gave us our own shikara boat to row. So now we get involved in the commerce of this tourist place. This is really one of the most touristy places I ever went to. Everyone's trying to sell something here. I think I may send to my sister Lynn a fur Himalayan mink carpet of some sort. I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm softened by all this beautiful stuff they have here. I'm tempted to buy something myself. I'm in paradise and I must get some of these beautiful things home. Materialism. I'm running out of money fast, by the way. It's Sunday, May 23rd, 1971. We go for a boat ride in our own shikara and we find some hashish farmers that live near Pahalgam, a small city in an area outside the Srinagar Valley, which is known here as the Vale of Kashmir. The farmers have a lot of hashish and cassettes with moody blues music. Beautiful. Then we come out to a star-filled night that knocked my eyes out. I rode in the back. I couldn't see a thing. We keep roaring with laughter. It's comical to be rowing and not know where the hell you're going in the total dark, not being able to see a thing also. Good for a laugh, but it is a little dangerous. It's Monday, May 24, 1971. I wake up and I go to a stone man. I spent $10 on this far-out stone in a ring. I must have flipped out. My God, I only have $30 left now. Then Dick and I try to row to the old city, which is like some elusive force that we cannot find. We wind up rowing through the locks and going to the new city, which is old anyway. We find a den of guys blowing hashish, and they make it right in front of us, pressing it by rolling pollen in dry corn husks. Then it comes out of the fire in this far-out shape, twisted with grooves from the corn husks. Dick bought some fresh from the fire, and we take off and go back to our own little boat where we're staying. We get lunch, which is paid for as part of our new arrangement on our much, much funkier boat. And we head off towards Noggin Lake, where we actually have to row for hours to get there. It's a lake that's part of the valley that we're in. When we come into what we consider to be the beginning of the lake, a gale-like wind starts blowing off the Green Mountains. There we are in this beautiful green maze of canals being blown backwards, beyond our control, down the canal in our little shikara boat, this long, thin boat, which is typical style of the boats here and very popular in the culture. And we're laughing and getting crazy because, of course, we've had some of that hashish and things a little wild, but it is crazy. After being blown back into the canal, we decide to just row back to our houseboat as it's getting late and it's still cloudy and windy. We have this local kid with us who came to accompany us, and he keeps rocking the boat just to screw with us. I row back and we find these freaks, Westerners, along the way. We go in to hang out with them. They get us so stoned, I literally can't stand up. Finally, I do get up and a wave of nausea crumbles my head. As I sit in the boat, I spew my guts into the water. Ugh. Then I row back through the lush green maze to our houseboat. In Shikara, I am the single rower back in the bow, and I power the whole boat myself, while those in front are just passengers. It's the next day, and Dick and I row to Noggin Lake again, getting lost and smoking chillums on the way. It's quite a long way, and we catch a beautiful sunset over the lake. The people that live along the rivers are really far out. Beautiful women, my God. One local guy wearing just a cloth over his testicles calls us over. He had shoulder-length, shiny black hair, lived behind a small Hindu temple. The people are so soft and gentle. Once at the lake, we just row about looking for Roger, who was taken there by the staff of the houseboat, or somebody for hire. Although the sunset was spectacular over the mountain and lake, we are too late for swimming. We groove around and find a houseboat, which is occupied by a tourist who we actually know. By the time we leave, it is pitch black and the fantastic star field is up above. Oh, it is some grand trip going slowly and softly through the complex and unknown waterways. Most of the time, we feel utterly lost. Somehow, we locate something we are familiar with and return here to our houseboat. It's Thursday, May 27, 1972, still in Srinagar. Lala, how that life goes on. At 5 p.m., Dick and I head straight up the face of the mountain near the Shalimar Gardens that sticks up in the middle of the southern Srinagar Valley and has a temple on the top. It was rough climbing, but some more good training because Everest looms ahead. About 2/3 of the way up, we catch a beautiful sunset over the whole valley. What a view, awesome beauty. We continue climbing up to the Buddhist temple as the sky turned black and the mass of twinkling lights amongst heavy green and water made the Shire into even more of a fairyland. The night was so warm and soft. We sit and blow on the mountain's edge. The climbing in the black night is precarious, but somehow we make it down and make it back late at night to our little houseboat for our evening's sleep. It is Saturday, May 29, 1971, and our week in Srinagar seems to be slipping by us in its magical moment. It's been a very beautiful year, but it's cost me a ridiculous amount of money when I don't have hardly any. The food has been a bit of a bummer. Now I must hit the cheap road that will slowly take me to Delhi and the heat of central India. Summer is still yet to come, and the heat should continue to mount. I have been reading the Bhagavad Gita lately, but I'm having trouble getting into it. I really would like to meet my guru. Next week is week 35 of the 50-year commemoration of the Stevie Wander. We're going to start it again in Srinagar in the Vale of Kashmir, having some hassles and fights with the tourist police and with the boat keepers and trying to get some money back from some of our purchases. It's a big hassle and kind of a crazy situation. Ultimately, we leave Srinagar and we head out on a cab and we get to Pahalgam, which is not in the valley, is actually in the mountains. And we're going to then rent a tent, go up the river Leader, and camp out. There was no amusement park there then, but it's there now. Things have changed, but you're going to see that we're going to be in a wonderful fantasy land of an alpine-like environment with the wonderful cold, freezing water coming from all different directions as the Himalayas melt into summer. Come and join us for week 35. See you then. The Wander is a great read. It uses something we call the active voice. It's a hell of a lot of fun. You feel like you're right there experiencing it with our wanderer. And follow our route of the journey on our website at wandererbook.com. We are rolling on the river in our own small boat called a shikara. We gently move down the waterway past the endless floating shops and houseboats. Then we wait in line at the locks for over an hour. Then we get our boat lowered to the level of the city. This is far out. We continue on our shikara journey until we arrive outside the Srinagar Valley, where we meet some hashish farmers on a beat-up houseboat. These locals are from Pahalgam, a small town just outside the valley. They invite us aboard, and we jam out to some tunes by the Moody Blues they have on cassette. Music brings all type of people together. We sing together as a group with those friendly strangers, just two guys and us three. We belt out a tune in unison, sounding awful as a group, but laughing and having fun all the same. I'm in the storied, historic Vale of Kashmir, and life is wonderful. Nights in white satin, never reaching the end, letters I've written, never meaning to send.